Like clockwork, we've got yet another streamer complaining about the difficulties of being a streamer. This time, the victim of being a rich and successful streamer is VanillaMace. I remember when VanillaMace hit the scene a few years ago, she came out as kind of like a female queso equivalent in my books. She was far more relatable and wholesome than she acts today. Since then, I kind of stopped paying attention to what she was doing, but I do remember my girlfriend would actually watch her videos playing the Roblox dress-up game. At the time, there wasn't really anything wrong with what she was doing. She was just a funny, relatable streamer who was just being goofy and enjoying herself on her streams. If I had to guess, the turning point for Vanilla probably was the association with the Hollywood side of the streaming world. I think a lot of people kind of noticed a change about her 5 months ago during her stream with Cutie Cinderella and Katie.
What are they saying, Vanilla?
That about the homophobic jokes. They're like, but then you just, if you still hang out with someone like that, then you just support it.
Why was she even being a messenger here for her chat? This is just weird. People are gonna hate you no matter what, just move on. I don't get the need to address every comment about what they're saying, especially when it's live.
I was raised in a very religious family. Unfortunately, there are people in my family that are racist. There are people in my family that are bigoted. There are people in my family that are homophobic. There's people in my family that are transphobic. But I still love my family, right? And I still know that there are that members of my family have good qualities. They have good qualities. And what's most important to get people to love other people is to love them. Fighting hate with hate will never get anything anywhere. If I were to say to someone who's homophobic, go fuck yourself, you homophobic prick, yes, I told them what they deserve. However, they aren't ever gonna feel accepting. They're never going to learn how to be accepting. Do you understand that if you just write people off because they believe different things than you, they're never going to be exposed to why it's good to be around people that don't think like you, right?
No, I see that.
So
Cutie Cinderella here is actually saying one of the realest things I think I've ever heard her say. You know, just that you can still love family members and friends and not rid them out of your lives just because they said something homophobic or transphobic. You can tell them you don't condone their behavior, and it's better to educate them and try to change them rather than just cutting them out of your life and telling them to F off. And in this call, you'll see Vanilla was actively agreeing with her, but when her chat started to come after her for what Cutie Cinderella had actually said, within a day she had flipped and switched, basically turning on her friend.
Simply didn't agree with it. I was uncomfortable, obviously, as you could see in the clips. No, I see that.
So
you know who I am, you know what I stand for. If you're someone who's been watching me, then you already fucking know. If you're a first-time fucking chatter and you're just joining off of clips that you've seen on TikTok and you don't know shit about me or fucking shit about shit, then of course I'm gonna assume that you're just gonna make the assumptions that you're going to make. But people who know me and know my character and know what the fuck I stand for know how I'm gonna go about this. So I am simply stepping back from everything, everyone.
She said she was uncomfortable with the call and what she was saying, and also doesn't condone anything she was saying, even though during the call she was literally agreeing with it. So I don't know. This is just fake ass behavior. You say you're uncomfortable, but you actively agreed with her while on the call. So were you lying then, or are you lying now? Also, what kind of life is worth living if you're just going to become a slave to your chat? You don't have your own opinions, you can't even choose your own friends. You're just blindly following what they say so you can maintain your audience. Stand your ground and have some conviction of your own. So this was kind of the first little tidbit that revealed how she probably would proceed whenever in any sort of drama. Anyhow, this brings us to today. Oh, wow. Let's just start it.
See, someone said, girl, please, this is one of the easiest jobs out there. Okay, go live right now. Go live right now.
The gestures she's making here, along with how she's talking, just sounds kind of demeaning. Also, it almost feels like she's above the plebeians who couldn't make it in the streaming world.
And I'll send everyone over to your stream, actually. I'll send everyone else. I'll send everyone there. Let's, come on. Go on. Come on. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Go do it. And Go ahead. And also, too, what kills me is when people be like, it's so easy. And I'm like, but the real Let's wake it up though. Because if a lot of you sat in front of a, not you guys are funny, but the people that be talking shit, if some of you sat in front of a computer and had to talk for 6 hours, nobody would stay and watch because you'd be boring. Because it would be yawn fest. So like, I'm sorry, but you gotta be like, you know, a little bit entertaining on this bitch. So it's really not that easy. Because then wouldn't, like...
Is this the entertainment you're talking about? Making silly faces every minute or so while essentially insulting your audience? I mean, why are you even reading this chatter's message? You didn't have to go into this whole yap fest about how hard it is to be a streamer when you could have just simply ignored it and moved on. Or you could have even just given a little white lie saying it is easier and that you're lucky, even if you don't believe it to be. To me, it feels like she would only talk about it if she truly felt this way and felt like she needed to get it off her chest and say it to the audience. I'm sorry, but streaming has got to be one of the easier jobs, unless you're like a streamer who puts on massive production events like I Show Speed. But you either vlog fun things that you do, or you sit here in your gaming chair and make whatever face this is and pretend you're a comedic genius, while you're making a shit ton more than the average person. So just be grateful of your position as a streamer and a creator, and don't try to rub it off in the face of your audience. They are the reason you are here after all. You're extremely lucky to be where you are, so don't fuck it up.
And I'm not saying my job is hard. To me, my job comes very easily. I think my job is so much fun and I love it, but I do think that I deserve a break.
Once again, when your audience turns, you lose your spine and just backpedal to save your own ass. So after saying all this, she responded to her fans by saying she is going to take a 2-week break. Yeah, this is precisely one of the exact reasons why streaming and content creation in general is easier than a 9-to-5. If you don't feel like streaming for 2 weeks, you can just go do it. You don't have to ask anybody for permission, request your time off, and plan like your vacation months in advance. This is all besides the fact that a lot of people couldn't even afford to take 2 weeks off anyways, but I digress. Vanilla, I'll keep it a buck. What got you your initial attention was your humility, relatability, and goofiness, but once you lose that, you're gonna lose your fan base. Also, I'm not gonna just sit here and say this is the most ridiculously bad thing in the world. I'm just a guy sitting here blabbering, and I have seen that this streamer who came out on this scene wholesome, goofy, and real turn in real time in front of my own very eyes into a less humble and fake person.
How do you feel about streamers saying streaming is harder than a real job? Streaming harder than a real job? Bro, what? Nah, bro, I'm sorry, man. No, there ain't no way. I saw a YouTuber say, like, man, y'all just don't understand. You wouldn't understand until you get in this position. This is more difficult than just normal 9-to-5. Well, guess what, Chad? I am in the position and I can sit here and tell you it's not even close to as hard as a real job. I ain't about to sit here and tell y'all like, oh man, I'll be working hard. Bro, I don't. I get to hang out with my people for 4 hours a day, bro. I wake up at like 2 p.m. every day, get up, don't do nothing all day, and I sit here and stream, bro. Even becoming a streamer, people's like, oh man, you gotta work so hard to become a streamer, become a YouTuber. I'm gonna keep it a stack with you right here. It's 90% luck, 10% working hard.